and I am here. I know you guys have been waiting for this interview with Ira. I'm gonna hope I say this right. Peskowitz.
Right.
Did I do good? Okay.
You did.
And for anybody who does not know, Ira is Danielle's. She's known as Cash Me Out Girl. Been seen numerous times on Dr. Phil. And this is her dad. And he's going to be telling his story. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Ira so he can introduce himself and tell a little bit about his story and about his daughter, Danielle.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
I know that you get tons of requests, people to be on your show and everything, and you taking me up in front and everything to sort of share what's going on. I really appreciate that. I really do. I know a lot of people follow the story. I know they follow bits and pieces of it. People come in a little late. They don't know the whole part of it where it started. You know, they read little articles here, little tabloids here, little blogs here, and everybody voices their opinions, which is fine. And it's good that people express their feelings. But you know, when you talk about Danielle and you say really bad things about her. That's really not appropriate. She's a 14-year-old child. You know, it affects her in many ways, and it's sort of like cyberbullying. You know, it's like just attacking her and saying some things. Look, I've exposed a lot of things. You know, and it was to get the best interest, the word out there to understand that this behavior of Danielle and what her birth mother is doing to her is just it's atrocious. I took this path because, you know, for many years I've been alienated from the life of Danielle. Many years. I've tried. Every time that I've tried, the attacks of the birth mother with going after my place of employment, calling state agencies, federal agencies, complaining to different venues, you know, attacking my wife. You know, she made death threats to threaten to kill my wife over the telephone and other things, and going after my biological and I see the little one there, going after hi, how are you?
You can go. That's okay. Sorry about that.
Going after my biological family and my adopted family. So I was adopted at 20 months old, and that's why it was important for me to be part of his life. You know, knowing that I didn't know my biological father for all those years, still had an opportunity to track him down. But I thought it was important to be in her life. But her mother made it very difficult. She made it very toxic for us. It was to a point that we said, hey, it's time. Let Barbara just be with Danielle, and hopefully that Barbara's anger and frustration would not focus on me anymore, and would just basically let Danielle live a normal life. And for a lot of these years, I had no idea what hardships that Danielle was going through. I felt really bad for her when I found out. Barbara told everybody from the school board to every type of doctor's office, from everybody, not to tell me anything because I had no rights to know what's going on. Listen, I gave Barbara 100% decision-making and custody, but I didn't give up my parental rights. I was always been there. I've been paying child support for all these years, and sending emails and trying to be part of her life was just a task itself. Mm-hmm. Every time I sent an email once and Barbara called the police, made a complaint that I was harassing her and her daughter because I wanted to see her. I mean, those are the things that it just hurts me, just knowing that she takes advantage of the system to attack after me. And then the thousands of pages and hours and money put in the court system to keep me away, try to get no contact orders, to try to change Danielle's last name to her last name, to all these frivolous, motions to the courts, just to harass and to annoy me. When we talk about courts, I'll give you an example. Danielle was born here in Florida, and Florida had jurisdiction over Danielle for the child support, for the visitations, for everything. So Barbara decided when she was in New York one day to just petition the courts in New York just to harass me. Tell us to me I'm not paying child support. And I started getting letters from the Department of Revenue in New York saying that I'm not going to pay child support and they're going to stipend my salary. And I was like, that's ridiculous because I have an income deduction here by a judge to my. I was paying child support. So I had to pay $500 in legal fees just to clear up the stuff in New York. So those are the type of things that Barbara has done, to me and my family to keep me away from it.
I'm sorry to hear all that, and I like to report and hear, and people like to hear like the story. I mean, this is obviously a very public, situation, already known to the public. So this is something that I really wanted to do, and you and I talked, and I did look up a few videos. I wanted to kind of get an idea because I didn't know both parents in this situation. Being the kind of person that I am, and seeing Danielle when I was introduced to this situation, because I personally didn't even know about this, to be honest with you, but knowing that just the kind of work that I do, and my love for children, and my love to see, and my passion to see, children with their parents, and obviously I don't like at all, and I'm very vocal about the fact that children that are placed in dangerous or high risk situations, I cringe. And I'm not saying that. I did find a couple of videos and I was kind of disturbed, which I would like to show the audience. But Barbara did come on the page, and I didn't even know she was Danielle's mother. Like I'm saying, I literally am novel to this as far as this particular situation, this particular family, and so I did say, Barbara, I'd be happy to interview you too. Just, let me know. And she said no, she didn't have to prove herself, is what she said in comments. But then I didn't really understand why she was commenting away then if you're not trying to prove yourself. I felt kind of like...
every time I do an interview, she finds out this all, Facebook. She has either a fictitious account or somebody's betrayed me and given her information. And that's fine. That's how obsessed she is with me. But... every time she does this, every interview I do, everybody, she sends nasty comments, nasty documents. She trashes me. She trashes my wife. Now her new thing is she's going after my children, my 9-year-old son, trashing him, other people. So it's so repulsive. And the thing is, Barbara has no accountability. She does what she wants to do. And she thinks that she can do whatever she wants to do. She has no job. She has no structure in her life. She has no accountability, period. So obviously, she's brought the trait on poor Danielle. Because Danielle, for a lot of these years, had no accountability either. I had no idea that she got kicked out of every school. I had no idea she got in fights all the time. I didn't know the people that she was hanging out with. I didn't know about all the things that she was doing. And if I knew that years ago, I would have stepped in years ago to prevent the damage that has been caused to Danielle's life.
Ira, can I ask you, what type of work do you do, or?
I'm almost 24 years in law enforcement.
Okay. That's what I thought. I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, if you don't mind, do you mind if I show a couple of these video footage that I found on the internet?
Oh, whatever's on the internet is free game.
I found this. And so her name is Danielle Bregoli, and it says gets beat up by her mom, because I wanted to know more about the mom, because I don't know this family. Like I said, this was new to me. Matter of fact, I know you had been interviewed by Stephen Ball, and he was like, and I said, who cash me out? What? I had no idea. So here's the video. So please forgive me for the what do you call it, for the for the language in there. I didn't want to have that on there, but I did find that video, and I was very disturbed by this. I don't know what else to say. I'm blown away by that. And my whole thing is, you know, my heart goes out to your daughter. She's a beautiful young lady. You know, I've seen some interviews with her because I did go do some research, you know, and I see how she acts and all that. And, you know, as a person that, like, I love kids. I worked in youth ministries with a lot of youth and so on. And I see kids that try to act tough. And then when you get to know them, they have hearts of gold and they just need the right direction. And they have so much inside of them. And that's what I see when I see your daughter. She's gifted. She's talented. She's smart. You know, she's just acting a certain way that I feel like with the proper direction and guidance, you know, she can be something absolutely amazing. People are asking if they can share this. Please go right ahead. Share this as much as you want. I'm seeing different posts saying horrific, and, you know, one person saying this is a classic case of a parent using spite to alienate and cause devastation to her child. And she's saying, please keep fighting, Ira. You know, I'm sure you have a lot more you want to say, Ira, so I want to kind of turn it over to you more before I show another piece here.
There's 14 years of I don't know how to explain, but you would think after a few years, somebody, a reasonable adult would just move on and try to find a loving partner, do great things with your daughter, you know, encourage her, not allow her to venture out into the things that she's done. I feel bad for Danielle because Danielle has seen and has been exposed to more things than child or any other human being should be exposed to. And I feel really bad because I wasn't around to protect her as a father. I wasn't around to protect her hanging out with these gang members. I wasn't around to hang out with her when she was running away all the time, getting stopped in the middle of the night with law enforcement, with older men. I wasn't around to protect her what a father does to protect a child, because I didn't know. And when I began to know, and I found out from one of Barbara's ex, and I just want to say that, you know, he opened up to me, and he told me a lot of things about Danielle, and I was at all I could be saying about her. And this is a person who is not even her father, and he knew more things about my daughter than I ever did. And it was disgusting. I mean, one of the things that really gets me, I mean, besides Danielle's behavior, the altercations she has with her mother all the time, the running away all the time, the involvement with law enforcement all the time, not going to school, getting kicked out of school. Barbara would take my child support money. I think it was exciting. Every 2 weeks, she got a check to go out shopping, and she gave him my money for him to pay his child support.
Oh my gosh.
So when I hear these things, I'm like, what is Danielle getting? I just don't understand. My child support is not for free game for everybody to use.
Right. I agree. Oh,
so
hold on.
I'm trying to think, you know, what is Danielle getting at?
Right. I'm sorry for that. You know, I'm sitting here like, you know, taking the story in, and I'm blown away because you're in law enforcement yourself. Now, what are the courts saying? Have you tried to petition them back for custody of her, or is it because she's 14 now it's too late to?
Oh, we've started to get to.
So I'm sorry, we're having another technical difficulty. My goodness, but we'll have Ira back on here in just a quick second, and I'm actually going to show one more video that I did find. Okay, we should be having Ira back in 1 second here. It's working, thank God. So thank you guys. And yes, you guys can share. I see your messages. Feel free to share them to any group that you're in that you want to share to. That's perfectly fine. These videos, when they go live, you guys are welcome to share them anytime. It actually boosts the viewers, and it's very good for getting these stories out and showing what's happening in our country. And why this is so damaging to our children. You know, it's very upsetting to me as a mother who's very protective, and I've had to deal with court nonsense where my child was not protected, and to see children not protected and have this type of an outcome, it's quite upsetting. just quite upsetting to me as a mom, and I know that it's quite upsetting to all of you out there that are protective, fit parents that don't want to have things like this happen. This one here was actually, I found this one, it was Cash Me Outside, Danielle Bregoli, Mom Screams at, it's not all the way up, at Little Girl, that's what that says. So that was really disturbing too, and they're in the public eye, so you know, there's like no sense of being discreet or anything. I don't really understand. I really don't understand. I did show the second video that I had found. It was Mom Screams at a little girl, little Muslim girl, and it was just beyond. I'm blown away, literally blown away. So.
That's the lifestyle that Danielle has been exposed to in her life. The altercations, the physical altercations, the yelling, the screaming, the racial slurs. You know, Barbara, you know, I talked about years ago when Barbara was mad at me and she threw out my bar mitzvah stuff all over the front yard. You know, my talis, my yarmulke, my prayer book, because she knows that meant something to me and it was part of my religion. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I've heard other comments, you know, by her throughout the years. And then when she posted this, it just shows her true color, that she is very, I don't want to say anti-Semitic, but she's, I don't know, you don't talk that way in front of your child. And you teach your child this behavior, that it's okay to yell and scream at another child and call them racial slurs and to agitate your child feels what you feel. And Danielle's learned all this behavior off of Barbara all of these years. You know, I've had so many people say to me, wow, I wish I would have reached out to you years ago. But we were afraid. We were afraid of the attacks from Barbara. You know, I've heard from neighbors. I've heard from school directors. I've heard from family members. When her family members reach out to me and tell me the things that they are appalled about what Barbara has done to Danielle, it hurts.
Of course it does, yeah.
It hurts a lot because, again, me being a father, two great boys, and Danielle, me being a husband to my lovely wife, and me working in law enforcement, you know, that's my job. I go out to protect, to improve quality of life with people, and to make sure that people aren't exposed to these things, and to remove them and put them in a better environment if they're so toxic. You know, I've tried a lot. I've tried all these years in ways that it wouldn't hurt my marriage, it wouldn't hurt my career, it wouldn't hurt my boys, right. It wouldn't hurt my family, my extended family, and everybody. But Barbara has reached out to everybody and has talked so much trash about me. And just think about if she's done that with them, what has she done to Danielle? She has told Danielle's lie after lie after lie that I've abandoned her, I walked out on her, I have a new family, I don't want anything to do with her, and that is not true.
Well, Ira, this is the perfect opportunity to tell her the truth, and you can look right into that camera and talk to your daughter.
She doesn't believe me right now. She's controlled by a group of people who are exploiting her to the max. They're taking advantage of a vulnerable child, my daughter, who needs to be in environment of a 14-year-old. She doesn't hang out with girls her age. She doesn't go to the movies with girls her age. She can't even go to school because she's afraid of being attacked at school. But meanwhile, they have this 24/7-hour babysitter or bodyguard, I don't know what you call it, and she complains that she can't go to public school because she's afraid. Well, she's afraid because of the way she's been taught to talk to people. The way that she feels is okay to just spontaneously attack people verbally and physically. And this is what the mother has taught her all these years. So that's not normal. Like, when was it the last time that Danielle probably sat around a table with people who really loved her and cared for her? When was the last time she hung out with girls or people her age that weren't criminals, that weren't bad for her childhood? Never. It is just appalling. And then to make her out to be this she's not a celebrity. That's for sure. She is not a celebrity. Somebody says she's infamous. Yes, she is. I get it. I want Danielle to do well. You know, Danielle could do better by the simple thing about stopping this nonsense, turning her life around, and going out and sharing her story with other children that are going through these problems.
Absolutely.
But she doesn't need to do that because she won't be making money off of it like they're making money off of her right now. She's so vulnerable. Danielle bonds to anybody that shows a little bit of love to her. If it's a boyfriend, if it's a girlfriend, if it's someone from the management team, if it's the babysitter, whatever. But why do they not allow me to be part of her life to show her love? Because Barbara has alienated me. Barbara does not want me to be part of her life. The only people that allegedly care for Danielle are people who are making money off of her. I'm not making money off of her. I'm tired of listening to people saying, I'm trying to get in her life because I'm cashing in on her. What am I cashing in on? Tell me one sponsorship. Tell me one deal I have. Tell me. It's ridiculous. It is the most ridiculous thing. The courts, the nonsense that go in the courtrooms, the lying, the perjury, the malicious attacks. You know, during Danielle's sentencing hearings and all this other stuff, it seemed like it was more about me than about Danielle. I'm not the one on trial. Mm-hmm. I'm not the one who committed these crimes. Mm-hmm. I'm not the one who was able to parent her and father her when she did all these crimes. You know, it's impulsive. It's just unbelievable that this stuff is going on in the United States of America with the system that we have these days. We have the Department of Children and Family in Florida is one of the most useless entities within the state of Florida. They are overworked, underpaid. Cases go through their palms of their hands, the important ones, because they're out handling all the frivolous, malicious calls from a vindictive mother or a vindictive father or a vindictive, boyfriend or this and that. Mm-hmm. They're missing the big picture.
They're missing the urgency of the genuine cases. They're literally ignoring these cases tremendously.
It's ridiculous. I mean, how many times law enforcement went to the house 50 to 60 times within a 7-month period? Mm-hmm. When does that agency take accountability and say, hey, whoa, time out. There's a problem at this house.
Well, and that's really good to be able to ask you that question on my side of it, because, and I don't know if you've seen some of my videos on law enforcement. I come from a family who we respect all authority, and when there's, and I've talked to my local police here that I grew up with from high school and so on, and you can verify this, and they've told me that so many times that, if there's somebody who's perpetrating domestic violence and there's a genuine order of protection, I'm not talking about these fake things that they're giving out like candy, and then let's say the perpetrator is on the lawn and they go and they get him and they put him before the judge and the judge lets him out 5 minutes later, and now the police officer has to go back and get him again, and this time he's more angry than the first time. So it's almost like there's this flip that's happening where when there's real domestic violence, the police are so fed up that they're not taking you seriously and they're pushing you over to family court, or when there's real stuff going on, the police want to do the right thing and their hands are tied because of these judges that are not making healthy decisions. And how do you feel about that being in law enforcement, or what are you seeing where you're located in your area?
Well, I don't know what goes on in other agencies. I can talk about myself and what I do. What's ethically, morally correct and what you can do as a law enforcement officer. Listen, when Danielle ran away from the house 4 or 5 times in one night, and law enforcement continuously brought her back to that house, when are they going to say, whoa, time out, that there's a problem?
Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
My agency, if I would have returned there the second time, a supervisor would have called me and said, hey, take care of the problem. Take this child to some place where this child can feel safe, where this child can get proper care. What they're doing is they've been to that house so many times dealing with them. And when you look at the reports and they talk about the way Barbara talked to law enforcement, the way Danielle talks to law enforcement, the way they talk to each other, they were probably fed up with dealing with them.
Right, right.
You know, so I just thought that there was an opportunity many years ago that law enforcement in the city that they live in could have done things to protect Danielle, to get her proper care, to get her the resources to do things that Danielle truly needed.
You know, we're all begging as a nation that people would do things in a right and ethical order, but we're not seeing that, sadly. And, you know, and for those of us that are law-abiding citizens, we have had the shock of our life how we have nobody to turn to any longer. That's why the voice is getting louder and louder, because we're not seeing ethics any longer, and integrity and accountability and oversight and people making healthy and common sense decisions anymore. It's just it's almost like a major circus act, and it's to the detriment of our children and our families all across our nation. And I know that people that are watching this right now, and I myself, when you got kicked off there for a minute, it's very upsetting to me as a protective mother, because I've had to suffer my child being around, similar to the element of what I just watched, actually in a different way though, and where the courts are rendering decisions that endanger your children, violate your rights as a human being and a parent, to protect them and to provide for them and to do everything that is right for them so that they can become something healthy into society. And when they grow up, they can be a good mother or father, husband, wife, etc., etc. And it's very sad. It's very sad. So.
You know, what's also sad is that a lot of people who try to offer help to Danielle, I'm getting communications, emails, and phone calls that the reason why Danielle hasn't gotten that help was because Barbara failed to fulfill her commitment to Danielle proper care. Who's held accountable here? A 13 or 14-year-old child, or the mother? Why do you not follow through with what medical professionals, law enforcement, or whoever give direction to a person to make sure that the child is getting the help that they need? When you talk about neglect, you're neglecting your child, the proper care that your child needs. You know, because for whatever reason, because you can't handle your child, because you're angry with your child, you're upset with the father of the child, you're taking out on your child, you're redirecting your anger, your frustration, whatever it is, on your child. Think about, what are you doing to that child? We obviously see what happened to Danielle, and I feel very bad for her. I really do. And I don't know, it's going to take a very long time for her to understand what she missed in her life.
Well, and really, I mean, if this is about like her, you know, the fame thing, whatever you want to call it, because it's not a healthy fame in any way, or the financial gain that she's getting, or if she's getting, I don't know. But I'm just saying she needs to learn the wealth of the richness of a healthy and good life is far more, you know, important to her future, because she is only a child. She's only 14. And 18 hits real quick, and then 20, and then 30, and then where does she be at that point, you know?
Then you would say, oh my God, I should have never done what I did. Or, oh my God, I'm going to go for this job interview that I really wanted and I worked so hard to get. But then when they go back and they Google her name, or they watch a video and they say, wow, you might be a great candidate, but you know what? What you've done in your past, we can't have you here. We can't take on that negativity, that exposure. What do you think she's gonna rap for the rest of her life?
Right.
Social media for the rest of her life. How productive is that for society? How productive is that for her to be a future mother? I mean, I don't get it. It's productive right now for everybody, from attorneys to management team to that's who it's productive for. For her team, for her attorneys, for her management team, for her mother to make money off of her. That's the only production that's going on right here. They don't care for the best interest of Danielle. I've not heard any of them ever say anything that's the best interest for Danielle. Their best interest is to keep me away from Danielle. Period. That's their best interest.
And it's what the courts do the same exact thing. They're no different than the exploitation of what's happening to your daughter. These courts and these child predator services are, in fact, exploiting children all over the nation by keeping out healthy, safe, fit parents and allowing them to be in the hands of not so healthy, safe, and fit parents, because it is a big money-making racket, and it doesn't have to be just in the eye of, television and all that kind of stuff. It's just in the actual everyday lives of people across our country. Ira, go ahead.
I'm just, you say to yourself, you fight, you try to do the right thing, you hang in there, you say that there's hope, that there's a child that is being destroyed. With manipulation, with money, with lies. And I'm here offering to have her in our life, to live a life of a child. Mm-hmm. And she's not in a life of a child. She's been to 6 or 7 different, allegedly, Airbnb homes. How normal is that for a 14-year-old to live out of a suitcase, moving from house to house to house to house, in LA, so they can prance her around like a product to make money off of her? I'm sorry, I know you're watching this, because I know Barbara's watching this, and I'm sure Barbara's going to be sending nasty messages to everybody in a few minutes, because I've gotten all of them from everybody around the world that she's attacked. But it's not normal. It isn't normal, and eventually, hopefully, the courts will see that. But her lawyers, they're just trying to push me over the edge. They're just trying to keep me away. They're just trying to overwhelm me with nonsense, figuring I just pack my suitcase and leave. They're trying to drain me financially, emotionally. It is disgusting. I truly believe attorneys in this world do have a purpose. When you maliciously lie, make the facts, and mislead the courts, just to make your client happy because they're paying you all this money, why don't you call Barbara and ask how many attorneys she has right now? Ask her. How many family attorneys? Entertainment attorneys. The attorney that's representing her because she's suing her ex-boyfriend for giving him $70,000 while on disability, collecting my child support.
It's very
legal fees.
Yeah.
Why don't you spend more time and energy into Danielle?
It's very upsetting, very disheartening. Ira, if your daughter is watching right now, which is very possible, why don't you just look into that camera and tell her what you think a father needs to say to his daughter that is going through this? And
I've said it. Danielle, I love you. I'm here for you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to protect you from all those pedophiles who send you those nasty messages on social media, the things they want to do to you. What is your mother doing to protect you? What is your management team doing to protect you? What is YouTube doing to protect you? What is Google doing to protect you? What is Instagram? What is social media doing to protect you? Because they have monitoring systems. Why do they allow this stuff to continue? I'm your father. I'm the one that needs to protect you, not these other people making money, because they want those comments to be on there, because the more disgusting comments about you, Danielle, the more and more people watch, the more clicks you get, the more money you make. So, listen, you have a family, you have a stepmother who wants to be part of your life, you have 2 brothers that want to meet you, that want to be part of your life. They cry, they're upset, they can't believe what is going on. They don't understand why your mother is keeping my daughter away from her 2 brothers. It's disgusting. It's alienation, not only just to a father, but it's to a family as well. And I know I read about it. You alienate from grandparents, other stuff. This is a pure example of parental alienation. And I didn't know all these years how horrific it was until getting involved and people reaching out to me. But I see the effects. When you when you read studies and you see what's happened to children who have been alienated from a parent, Danielle fits in a lot of those signs and symptoms of a child who's been alienated from a parent. It's simple. It's right there, and other children are affected the same way.
That's right. Ira, I want to read this by Amanda Arreston, and I speak to you, Danielle, when I read this to you. She said, I have a parent who never wanted me, and I was forced to go on those visits. Here sits a father trying to fight for his daughter's mental and well-being, and he gets shut down. And I just wanted to read that to you, Danielle, because I hope, honey, that you see the heart of your dad. And I think it's pretty obvious as I watch him and I listen to him and I've talked to him that your dad loves you, and your dad, you know, isn't doing this for any other reason but the fact that he's trying to reach out to you. And, you know, you are 14, and sometimes you have to just make bygones be bygones and listen to the people that are living healthy and moral lives. I'm sure there's many that have been reaching out to you, and I really encourage you to try to reach out to your dad and just give him a chance and find out and maybe learn a few things from him. You know, it's good to get different perspectives. You have been in a world that I don't believe is something that is healthy for you in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe you should be exploited in this manner. You're a beautiful girl. I didn't really know anything about you till very recently. And I only really enjoy my own talk show. I don't watch Dr. Phil. Sorry, Dr. Phil. But anyway, I'm joking about that. But I really think you should try to reach out to your dad and give him a chance. Just give him a chance, you know, and check and, you know, get to know your young siblings, because one day you're going to grow up more, you know, 18, 21, and so on and so forth, and you're going to look back and you may not ever have that chance. You just don't know, you know, we don't always given tomorrow. So that's just what I wanted to say to you, and I really hope that you do reach out to him, because he is definitely reaching out to you.
Well, I really appreciate that. There's two things I want to say real quick about that. One is about a few months ago, I was able to talk to Danielle on the phone. Every time Danielle was getting close to me, they would change her phone number or take the phone from her. And so they didn't want me to talk to her. And, was obviously right there, alienation. They didn't want Danielle to start feeling for me to understand, hey, there is someone out there that possibly cares about me. You know, so we did that. Then they're going to say, I know they're going to say, is that I was harassing her. Well, if I was harassing her, why did I talk to her for 25 minutes, 30 minutes on the phone? I wouldn't be having a yelling and screaming argument with her. We had a very sincere, caring conversation. You know, one time I wanted to take her to Lion Country Safari with my boys just recently, and Barbara would turn around and she'd call my internal affairs and make a complaint saying that I'm harassing them because I want to spend time with my daughter. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing in the whole world, to say that I'm harassing Danielle and her friends because I want to spend time with her. Now, another thing, when you talk about family, you know, holidays come and go. When Danielle's 20, 30 years old, holiday comes around, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, whatever it is, if she sits at the table with nobody, because nobody else is in her life anymore, how is she going to feel knowing that she doesn't have a family? To sit down at a table and to talk about life stories of what she's done. Talk about the great times that she has growing up. The playing in backyards, climbing on trees, snowball fights. That's stories to tell. What is she going to have? A management team and a babysitter to sit around a holiday party or an event or a dinner, and they're going to sit there. You're going to you have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 men with her all the time. I mean, really? She's 14 years old. I mean, that's going to be Christmas. That's going to be Thanksgiving when she's 30 years old. You think these guys are going to care about her then? Absolutely not. They're not going to care about her. Once she starts bringing in money for them, they're going to be long gone, and they're going to go out and try to find some other child to probably exploit.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, you know, there's so many memories in life that Danielle's not going to have, like the good memories of growing up. And I'm trying to step into her life to get her those good memories, so she can say, wow, I went fishing, I went on a boat, I went to travel. I didn't yell and scream. I didn't get into fights. I didn't do drugs. I played with my brothers. We ran around the house. We played tag. You know, we made a puzzle. We draw. We kid around. We tease each other. Not, yo, bitches, what's going on, bitches? Anybody want to, you know, I mean, that's not what a child does. You don't do those things. It's horrible. But Danielle, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm the one looking out for the best interest. I'm the only parent in this relationship that wants you to succeed in life. Period. I don't care how many people follow you on Instagram, because that's felonious too. You can buy numbers and names and whatever. I don't care what record deal you have, but I do care with the convicted felons you hang out with, the hardcore criminals you hang out with, the gang members you hang out with, the people in the environment that you're around. That's what I do care about. And as a mother, to allow you to hang out with somebody who's a convicted felon for gun charges, crimes against children, drugs, to hang out, to take a photo shoot so you can make more money, never. You can't pay me $1 million to come around my boys to take a picture of some scum convicted felon just to make money. Never. But your mother seems to think it's okay. Your mother keeps putting you in this environment with all these bad people. Your management team makes the hookups too. So, you know, if that's acceptable behavior in today's society, then I think the courts are losing it, the judges are losing it, the Department of Children and Family are losing it. We might as well just give up and let kids raise themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Well, lots and lots of comments are coming in directed to Danielle. People are saying, you know, children aren't tools. Ira, you have a genuine, warm, loving spirit, and I pray that your love for your daughter wins this battle, and I know that it will. Children are a gift from God, said another person, Veronica Ferguson. It just goes on and on. So, you know, that's great, guys. Keep reaching out to Danielle, you know, keep reaching out to Danielle. Let her understand the truth and what love really is. That's what she needs to know. That's really why she's crying out, because she doesn't understand what love really is, and it's pretty obvious in what we witnessed here. Ira, I can't thank you enough. It's been a pleasure and an honor having you on tonight, and sorry for all the weird technical stuff. I apologize for that, but thank you so much for being on the show this evening, and we are going to continue to pray for you and your daughter and believe that miracle is going to take place here. Okay?
I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And I feel everybody else's pain. Believe me, you're going through the same thing that I'm going through. It's difficult, but you know what? We're here to fight a battle, to do what's right, and to make a difference in children's lives. So let's all stay together and do that. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I don't know if her brother's there and they want to say hello to their sister. Hi there, little buddy. What's your name? What did he say? I didn't hear.
His name is Elon.
Elon. Hi, Elon. Do you want to say hello to Danielle and tell her you love her?
Go ahead, say it.
Hi, Danielle.
You know, he gets teased at school and harassed and bullied because of her. They go after my sons because of her, because they don't like her. They want to meet her, they want to fight her, they want to beat her up. They tease them all the time. The stupid phrase, catch me outside, how about that? These are two boys, they're innocent boys, who are victims of this nonsense. They shouldn't go through that.
Well, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that.
Today someone annoyed me about that.
All right. Anyways, I thank you. I don't want Barbara to take the camera away from Danielle, because God forbid she sees her brother feeling her brother. But anyway, thank you again.
All right. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Bro, anyone who believes this guy is retarded, stop watching his interviews. Stop. It's so dumb. Like, for what? Why do you want attention so bad? Like, stop. For what? What are you doing this for? Why do you want to be in my life now? Why? You didn't want to be 14 years ago. You didn't want to be when I was 3 months old. You walked out with your little hoe, right? You said, toodles. Bye, gotta go. Right? So why do you want to come right now? Why? No. Stay, you got your 2 kids. Go. Bye. Go. Stay with your 2 kids. Stay with your wife. Okay? I don't care. My last name is Bregoli. Bregoli. Thank you, bitch. Keep messing with me, bitch. Keep messing with me. It's not funny. It's not funny. And no one gives a fuck. Okay? Why? What? Father's rights. Suck my dick. Okay? Okay? I can't stand you. I don't like you. No one cares about your dumb little Facebook lives. Stop. For real. Enough. Enough. Stop doing it. It's so stupid. For what? You have 5 people that really agree with you, and those 5 people are fucking stupid. Everyone else knows. Stop this father's rights shit. You don't do anything good for your fucking kid. You don't do anything good for me, so stop. It's okay that your son can be a superstar on the rise and sing his little song, but and you can post it on Facebook and call him a superstar, right? But when I put out music and my shit is real, when I'm really a recording artist, and you're lying, and you're just being stupid, and you're saying, oh, but this ridiculous record deal, my daughter's, who the fuck are you to call my record deal ridiculous? It's your whole life is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. I am ashamed to even be your daughter. I am ashamed to come from you. I am ashamed of it.
You big